All right, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry, I haven't posted in a while. Got distracted and busy and couldn't think of anything to post for a little bit there. But what is it? You'll be seeing this on the first. So tonight, something special's coming out. D4, Diablo 4 comes out tonight, or at least the early access for it is out tonight, right? Like technically comes out on the 6th, but I had to pay extra because I wanted it immediately. I've been waiting for D4 for a long goddamn time. Long time coming, this one. So, I'll be live streaming it. I'll be live tonight at 5 p.m. CST. So, a little bit before it goes live, like an hour before it actually goes live. We'll just be talking, hanging out. Probably going to be streaming it all night, but of course, that includes the very obligatory concern that like the stream will probably include a good bit of waiting on queue because it's a pretty good issue. Although it wasn't that bad. What was it? The two of the three betas weren't too bad about it. So hopefully they have it figured out for this one that the queues don't take too long or like this connection issues aren't there. Because I really want this to be a smooth launch. I just really want to play D4, man. I've been waiting. But come check me out on Twitch. Links will be in the description down below, so you can come hang out with me and the family there. And while you're at it and while you're looking at the description, anyways, you should come hang out in the Discord. Really trying to build a community of people that I like talking about games with. And so that, by extension, you would enjoy talking about games with, right? That's really the goal. Plus, you'll get, more access to updates about what's going on with me, whether that be, reasons why I'm not live or ideas I'm working on, all the above, right? So, starting off with look, it's D4. Like, D4 releases something I've been waiting for a long goddamn time. Like, a long, long time. I started playing. What is it? So I started playing PC games back in like 2013, roughly 2013, 2014. And so like Diablo 3 was just hitting the scene back then, right? I bought D3 like on release as well. I never actually played D2. It was just D3 that I had tried. And that was kind of the hook for me in the genre ARPGs. I've been playing ARPGs ever since. Even when I like took that break from Diablo and didn't really know what ARPG to go to, the itch was always there. So this interest has a special place in my heart, and I'm extremely excited for it to finally be a new installment. Of course, I played two of the three betas. I played two of the three. I didn't play all three. I didn't think the third one was really worth my time. The third was worth my time. It just kind of overlapped with a lot of other things I had going on. But that's mostly just because of scheduling and the fact that I wanted to do rating and whatnot and WoW, or just other things in general. I just have the time didn't really make sense for me to be there. Plus, quite frankly, I was not interested in playing through the early game a third goddamn time. So before I get into my plan for D4 and then like what I want to do with the channel regarding D4 and other things in that nature, I want to start off with just what I thought about the betas and what I'm kind of expecting, right? So I played the first beta up to like I didn't play too far into any of the betas. Like I don't even think I ever killed a Shava. I just kind of watched him kill a Shava because I got bored of grinding and whatnot. Like it was like that moment where you just kind of was like I can't be fucked. Um, there was something that just didn't feel right about it for me with playing a grindy game and being forced to grind the initial area that you're supposed to grow out of fairly quickly. It seemed like being stuck grinding that just didn't feel right to me. And so as a result, I decided I didn't really want to just keep grinding in that area, and I just really like kept track of it through my friends and who were playing at the time and whatnot. But I did my rounds. I played three classes. I played Rogue, Sorc, and Necro. Rogue, Sorc, Necro. Yeah. I forget that my hands are like down here and I'm counting off, but you can't see that. But so like Rogue, Sorc, Necro were the three that I played in the beta build. Pretty fun experience, honestly, playing all three of them. Or well, no, let me not lie for a sec. Let me not lie. I really enjoyed playing Rogue and Sorc. I didn't really fuck with Necro like that. I just something about the lack of movement really didn't vibe with me, even though it was fairly strong, especially in the first beta build when we had like all the one for all the people who paid. It was just like this huge, you just had so much power and like borderline infinite stuff really went up, but I just didn't love the fact that it didn't move. That's gonna be a pretty guiding part of what I'm gonna talk about a bit here. But the experience was fun. I really enjoyed like the overall like the setting really was just so much more what I feel like it should have been in D3. Not like, the exact story and everything, but just generally I felt like D3. I understood after opening D4 why the complaints about D3 included the seemingly cartoonish art style. I got it. I understand it, right? So, having gotten that context for it out of the way, like I actually felt like I really liked the setting of 4 more. Plus, I'm interested in this overworld concept, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But like, I'm interested in this concept of utilizing the open world instead of primarily relying on instance content. But from what I've seen from like all of the media day releases and whatnot, it looks like the game is still pretty heavily reliant on its instance content to really provide that deep character progression that I want. But I do like that there's more things overworld instead of just purely relying like D3 did on its rifting system to really keep it alive. All right, so my plan, right? I So my game plan right now is that I'm going to play a Sork on start. Like when you see me log in tonight, it'll be on a Sork first. I just think that the class, at least from what I experienced in the beta and from what I've been hearing since, I haven't read too much up on it all. But from what I've been hearing since as well, it's got that right balance of early game viability, late game viability, and most importantly, movement. I am a sucker for movement in games, and so this decision was always going to come down between Rogue and Sork for me. I know Barb is also actually pretty fast, but it just doesn't have the same like snappiness that captures me. And what really did it for me is that I just really like lightning spells. Like lightning spell archetypes have always been my favorite in games. So, or just lightning in general. Quite frankly, it's not really has to be spells. I just like lightning. Sork is the one that's most in tune with that fantasy, therefore Sork. Plus it has movement. It's a little bit squishy, but like that's something I can work around, right? So the game plan is kind of simple. I'm primarily focused on playing the game. I thought about doing a bunch of like pre-release, like digging through data and really trying to optimize the teeth out of everything I was thinking about. And what I ended up settling on is that I just didn't want to do all that. I've optimized the balls off of everything I've ever played in the past couple of years. And probably even further back if I go there. Like I've really optimized the fun out of a lot of things, or not the fun out of, but I should say like I did a lot of pre-optimizing in a lot of places, and my recent experience with WoW has taught me that like sometimes I do just enjoy face planting. The same thing happened with Lost Ark. The same thing happened with Final Fantasy. Like I kind of just walked into those games. Final Fantasy, I thought I was getting a DPS character. I ended up getting a healer, right? Like, like that's kind of the thing that I realize is that I like the incidental experience that comes with some of the things that I do in these games. And as such, I think doing it in Diablo this way will also be the most beneficial to me. Is to just pick Sork and play the fantasy that I'm most interested in, which is this lightning centric playstyle. I'm very interested in crackling energy, even though like no one's really talking about it outside of using it as like an engine for other things. And I kind of want to see if there's a way to make that more viable as like a real thing. But that's something for me to experiment with when I play the game. And I also just kind of realized that it's really hard to go deep into the numbers when I didn't like super play, right? Like even in those beta periods, I feel like even in the beta periods, I feel like a lot of the knowledge that we got in the betas was like surface level, right? Like we learned about like damage buckets and what the stats do and like how lucky hit is defined, right? In the betas. But we didn't really get that same understanding that we've gotten from people who have now started to post these, what is it, past 2 days. People are dropping all sorts of knowledge about the game in their videos, not or videos they've written guides and everything because they've played the review build. And the review build just has so much more content to it in terms of character building and character progression, right? Better gear, better bases, paragon boards, and glyphs. third specializations. Like there's all these things that we could have only theorized about beforehand, or like fantasized about. Slash, oh well, this looks like it'd be kind of nuts based on what we can see in the numbers. But being able to see it like see it like in action, so I like a little bit into like how these systems worked, but I haven't looked at how I would like apply any of it and really like sat down around the numbers, because I think that would be more fun after I've already played the game a good bit. I kind of need to actually see, like, for example, people are talking about defenses in this game, and like my concern now let's get into like a little bit of a concern point, which is defenses in Diablo are very interesting because my understanding from what I've been hearing so far is that damage tuning in 4 is a lot like damage tuning in 3. That's concerning. And I'm talking about incoming damage, not outgoing damage. Incoming damage. Because and that concerns me because I didn't like the way that 3 handled incoming damage. 3 handled incoming damage through just 3 handled incoming damage by just layering percentage damage reductions on top of each other. And like, I didn't love it. You stack that, and then you stack some life, and you stack some resistances. But the big thing was that you were just so reliant on having so many sources of percentage damage reduction that all worked multiplicatively with each other, but you were ended up taking like not even a percent in some cases of the damage that was incoming. I don't love that system for scaling defenses in a game, but like we'll see, right? Maybe D4, or well, like D4's gearing at least makes it seem a little bit better. I don't feel like I'm going to be sitting around like, man, where's my elusive ring on my demon hunter? Because I've been trying to push higher GRs, but the fact that I haven't had an elusive ring drop means that I don't have 50% DR whenever I pop shadow power, right? Like, or it's shit like that. Like where's my mantle of channeling so I can have 25% DR when I'm channeling arcane torrent on my Tarasha sword, right? Like it doesn't feel like it'll be like that, especially with the aspect system. But I am concerned, and this is like a defense thing, because I'm not super concerned about the number scaling offensively. That's just like, I don't know. ARPGs for number go up. If you're complaining about number go up in an ARPG, get back. I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I feel like numbers are supposed to go up in an RPG. Like that's the point, right? That's the whole reason we play the genre, so that the number get ridiculously big. It'd be weird if I was to sit here and complain about the fact that the number went up. But I do like, you know, obviously I want the fights to be good, but it's just like at the end of the day, you're gonna outscale it. That's just kind of the point. It that's how the game progresses, right? You know, you've really conquered that mountain when your build is like giga nuts instead of just nuts. So we're gonna play a Sork. I'm gonna take it all the way through. I have no idea how deep I plan to take it before I try any other characters. Like as a preliminary goal, I want to just say like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna run a Nightmare 100, but I've been led to believe that that's like actually supposed to be quite a challenge, but it's doable already on the beta build, so I'll probably just go for it. If the limitations of my character or grinding get too ridiculous, maybe I'll switch off at like 80 something, who knows. But I really want to dig into the depth of the game and also like really like get to play around with like some like funnier ideas for setups. Um, so that's really the game plan. I have some concerns surrounding at that, but that'll be a different video, and I'll probably talk about it in like a post and in like a pre-game and post-game light, just to like give some feedback there. And then the other thing is like, what am I going to be doing like here and on Twitch regarding the game and anything like that? So, um, number one and most and foremost is that I will be streaming a whole lot over the next couple of days, right? So I'll be live before the servers go live. So tonight and tomorrow, Friday, the second, I'll be live at like 3 p.m. CST, grinding all day. Well, not all day. I'll be grinding in the early parts of the afternoon, but I have raid that night. That's still tomorrow night and Saturday. I don't really have I don't have any plans to cancel raiding or like not participate in raid. One part because I am like a healer for my guild. That's like a harder role to replace, but also because we are very close to like getting AOTC, and I actually want to get that done. So we can start looking at moving into Mythic and whatnot. So that part will still happen. I have no idea if I'm going to be streaming that portion or not. I don't know yet. I have to figure that out. Um, but I'll be streaming earlier to accommodate that as well because I want to make sure that there's still like lots of D4 time on stream. I want everybody to see what's going on. And that way, it's also just most of my progress is more documented, even if I am recording all of it on the side, anyways. It's just like I don't. It's more unfiltered, and I don't have to remember like the side what pieces are out there. Everybody just sees everything. Okay, so that's Twitch things. Here, however, I'm going to start posting videos about a couple things, but let's talk about the D4 things first. D4, I want to post content about I want to post content about the game. I don't know what type of content I'm gonna post about the game though, right? I don't want to fall into like the usual like super clickbaity trap of like you have to check out this broken ass build before it gets nerfed. Like, I don't really like that. I don't really fuck with that. But I am interested in talking about things in the game that I find interesting, whether that be some parts about the setting or just like how my character is doing, things that I found interesting. So that's probably what all of them will be. It'll likely be 1 to 3 videos each day, especially this first weekend or so, of just like my findings and things that I'm thinking about the game and whatnot. It'll kind of almost be like a lot like a diary almost of just me playing the game and like talking to y'all about what I think, which like some part of it will just be thoughts that I had on stream and parts of it will be thoughts that I had off stream, right? It'll be a good hybrid of it all. Or thoughts that I like was able to recollect better after I turned off the stream and like sat down before I recorded the video. So that's what it's gonna look like here, and I have no idea what it's gonna manifest into. Is it gonna be build theory crafting? Is it gonna be high level content pushing? I don't really know. Probably not high level content pushing because I'm not even doing the hardcore race to 100, which I had some thoughts about that whole thing, and then I realized I don't really feel like arguing about it. As dumb as that sounds, it was just like that was a dumb little thing. But yeah, that's like a somewhat of a brief overview of what I'm thinking about regarding D4. And as such, hey, look, come through tonight. Come see what your boy's doing. We have cookies. I'm only half playing. I mean, I'll get some cookies if you want some cookies. Like, if you want some cookies, let me know. I'll hook it up. Uh, but just come through. Oh, right, there's one more thing, which is coming through on Twitch. There's their campaign. You give 2 subs to me, you get a free mount. You get a mount, right? That would really help it up a lot. And then I just want to give a shout out and a thanks to you guys. Honestly, everybody who's viewing this and on stream and whatnot, you guys have really taken some incredible steps towards turning like pushing me towards something that I've always joked about doing in the past and never really pursued, to the ire of the people around me, of course. You guys have really done some great work pushing me towards that, so I can't thank you guys enough for incentivizing me and encouraging me to keep this going. That said, see y'all tonight. Take care.